Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Well, nobody yet, but that's okay because the last time I did my first live the other day, I bundled it a little bit and I had people in the room and I feel bad. But anyway, we were speaking about loving kindness and compassion and love, harmony, hope. So I applied on myself to those things. And so now I'm practicing kindness. Hi, baby. Come here. Oh, these are my little chihuahua. Kiana. She sees me in this chair, then right away she wants to come and sit. So anyway, this is a fresh start because everything is temporary. That went the way that it went, and now today we're gonna have another live, and we're gonna talk some really good stuff. Okay, so what I was talking a lot lately about, and what I talked about in the live really quickly, was how I was following the Walk for Peace and the Buddhist monks who, oh my gosh, they're just amazing. Oh my goodness. So during that time, I started watching them, I think, in December. And every day I would watch and I would listen to their morning prayer because they would do it on morning prayer. And then when they stopped for lunch, they'd do like a little talk. And I started little by slowly listening to it. And, you know, it helped me a lot. Excuse me, I don't see anybody here yet, so it's just me and Kiana. Say hi, Kiana. Anyway, so talking about the 5 seconds of mindfulness, and that's really what I've been focused on. Oh, it's getting really windy out here. My goodness. But anyway, let me see on my computer. Anyway, okay, so I'm back. All right, so loving kindness, compassion, love, harmony, hope. Those are the 5 seconds of mindfulness, okay? In those 5 seconds, we practice those things, like, okay, loving kindness in that first second. What I think about is, will this do any harm? Okay, that's the first thing. And you know, it could get a little tricky because when you say do no harm, first of all, it includes you. So loving kindness is including all beings, okay? All sentient beings, you're included. Loving kindness is just taking a second to ask the question, will this hurt anyone? There's a lot of things that it could involve too, right? Like when you're going to say something, sometimes we need to take a second and think about that before we speak, that our words are kind. Are words going to hurt someone? I know for myself, sometimes I would say things to feel superior, to get a little dig in there, you know. So I had to start asking myself, am I commenting, are these words that I'm responding in loving kindness, are these words going to do any harm? I have to ask that question. And right away, sometimes we might just say, oh, no, that's not mean, but no. There's a deeper level to that. When we speak to another or we take action, is that kind? You know what I'm saying? Is something kind? Or are we just, why am I not seeing? I see people are joining, but it's not showing me. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that is. Okay, anyway, so back again, loving kindness, do no harm. Take a second, ask the question. Sometimes I'd say things just to feel like I make a comment, it's a little dig in there somewhere. All of that comes back to control, which we're going to talk about later, but control's just an illusion. It's not real, and it blocks you from your good. So that's loving kindness. In the second, that's where oh, okay, hi guys, now it's starting to show. Dee Dee Hard, hi Carol, thanks for joining. We're talking right now about loving kindness, so, and doing no harm. And sometimes how when we're going to speak, it isn't with kindness because we have another agenda, don't we? The personality always comes in and just right away, and thoughts become things, thoughts become habits of thought. That, are you going to get that fly? Just a little bit. She's practicing loving kindness to the fly. So now we've moved on, compassion, okay? So compassion, we're not in everybody's head, okay? And just being compassionate to someone else is a good thing because we don't know their struggles. You don't know the person in front of you, the cashier, the waitress, the person in line, the person in the car in front of you in traffic. We don't know what they're going through. Even if people look like they're okay and they act like they're okay, Sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's just, they're just trying to survive. They're just trying to like get through the day. And we don't know that. And so when we can just be in a space and make space for peace, then we're being like compassionate. Oh, okay. So now let's move on to love. Love. It's so important. We have to come from a place of love. I don't know why we don't come from a place of love, but that's because we're all in our heads. The personality, you know, what people are thinking, what you're worried about, the humaning, which I talk about all the time. Stop humaning. That's default living. So, compassion. Let's get back on track. I have a tendency to get off track all the time. Kiana, keep me on track. Okay, so now we're on, that was love. Okay, we're on love. Love means children grow up without fear. Love means elders live with dignity. Love means when somebody is in pain, we don't turn away. Love. Love your neighbor, even if you don't know them. Why? Because you want people to treat you that way. Why? Because it's good for you. You're blessing yourself when you're kind, because in that moment of kindness, you're aligned with your source, you're aligned with your authentic self, and you're thriving, okay? So now, get back. That was love. The next thing, okay, harmony. Harmony does not mean sameness. It means respect in that moment for people to not fear. Just harmony. You be you, I'll be me. You do you, I'll do me. But do it with love and kindness and harmony. Simpatico. Everything is, oh, let me see. Thank you so much, Dee Dee Hart. You like my dog? Cute dog. I'm getting a lot about the dog. This is Kiana. She's a rescue. We got her last July. And so she chases all the birds in my yard and the squirrels. So she's a hit. She's a hit. Okay, well, I hope you're listening to me too. But maybe I'll put her up here so you can see her better. She's watching them squirrels. See? You see the squirrels? Okay, so also, now we were on harmony, and the last second is hope. And hope is that light that must never be extinguished. There is always hope. There is always hope in this moment. In this moment is where all your power is, where as close as your breath. If you feel hopeless, you reach for the next better feeling thought you can. Sometimes that's anger. Anger is okay. You watching them? And I have a lot of birds. We feed the birds and getting rid of this garden. We're fixing up the yard because it, got a little bit messy. Yep, you're right. Thank you, Dee Dee Hart. Let's see, who has we got? Acrylic. Aria, I can't pronounce some of these, but hi. So glad you're here. All right, let me see. Where are we? So now that was the 5 seconds of mindfulness. So basically, that's talking about right then when something happens. Right when something happens, before you speak, before you take an action, you have to start living mindfully. So I try to live mindfully. I started following the Walk for Peace, and I started to learn a lot more. And I had been doing a lot of inner work. I spent over 10,000 hours studying Abraham Hicks. So, I've been doing a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, this, are you shaking? This totally shifted me, okay? Totally shifted me. And another, okay, hi, thank you. Cute dog again. My girl, she's such a star. Oh, you want to go get him? Go ahead. Go get him. Go get him, baby. Okay, so now, let's talk about worry. What I was saying is staying in this now moment. It's so important to be in this moment. That's where your power is, okay? That's where all your creativity is. That's when you're hooked up to your authentic self, who you really are. And that is really important because that's where you have clarity. That's where your power is. That's where all the resistance that you've built up on your physical trail is falling away. It's falling away. As you start navigating your world, living a different way, things start showing up better. Sorry, getting on that. Let me see on my laptop. So. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really doing the best I can with this, but it's new to me. I'm hoping the more I do lives, the better, that will get. Okay, so let's see. Loving kindness, all the 5 seconds. Another thing is I bring peace and love with me wherever I go. I don't wait till I get there to see how others are going to be. No, 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 no. You're not in charge of me. When I go anywhere, I bring myself with me. I bring my peace. I bring me, who I am. Whoever you're going to be does not change that. It doesn't change it at all. You want to be miserable? Peace out. I'm out of here. Okay? I'm not going to allow it. I don't have to be mean about it. But what happens eventually, as I started this process of the loving kindness and being in the moment, is those kind of people fall away. They don't even show up. It's so awesome. They're just they go away. You don't respond. That's a problem that a lot of people have. They respond, react to life in a way that is just coming right off the bat. They don't pause. They're not thinking clearly. They're just reacting. You gonna get them squirrels? They're just reacting in the moment. Default living. That's what humaning. Stop humaning. That's default living. Responding to everything. The wind is blowing at you. Whatever is you're guided by that. You're not in this moment. Let me see. Okay, that's good. So getting back to this moment is what is really important, because all your powers, I keep saying that, and that's the truth. But what I'd like to also add is starting this practice and trying to follow especially the 5 seconds of mindfulness, which has really like skyrocketed my healing. Whoops, oh, I kicked my stand. Like I said, I'm very new to this. I started to, okay, I just want to be kind. So be kind and stay in your own lane. That's what I say all the time. Be kind, because in that moment that you're being kind, you're extending a blessing to another. You are blessing yourself. Why? Because in that moment that you are blessing someone else, you are aligned with your source. You are connected to who you really are. In that moment, your cells, the trillions of cells you have, are thriving. They're thriving. They're lined up and healing. All the healing is taking place when you're connected. A lot of people aren't connected. A lot of people stay pinched off from their good. They create like a cave of fears. They put themselves in a prison. They shrink themselves for fear of what things are going on. They say they're just being careful, but really, little by slowly, their world shrinks. Yeah. I'm trying to look both on here. Well, nobody's here right now. So anybody comes, then we can think about questions. For right now, let me take a look while nobody's here. Okay, sweetheart, come here. Like I said, worry. Oh, we got somebody. That's good. Anybody, if you have a question, please ask. Worry has a quiet way of shrinking our world, you know. It starts subtly. You know, a little cautiousness here and there. Overthinking comes in, and you shrink yourself. She's fine. You shrink yourself. You shrink your voice for fear of judgment. It ends up being a cave of shadows where the light is blocked. The light can't come in. So the what is, when you're right here in this now moment and everything that is around you. Okay. I'm just waiting almost 15 minutes. With some people that joined, that's great. So let me see. I'm going to wait a little bit and see if anybody else joins. I'll be doing a live on TikTok at 4. And then Wednesday, I'll do another live at 9 o'clock. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be my plan. 9 o'clock. And so far today, I'm going to do a TikTok at 4. So let's see. Trying to see if anybody else joins. Still waiting. Okay. Doesn't look like anyone else is joining, so I guess I will sign off for now. Oh, no, 2 people joined, so now maybe I'll wait a little bit. We're talking about loving kindness, compassion, love, harmony, hope, the 5 seconds of mindfulness that I learned, the walk for peace. I'm also learning about live. It's very new to me, but I'm going to go over them again. Loving kindness is do no harm. Do no harm. You have to stop and ask yourself a question in that first second that you're going to take an action, say something, do something. Will this harm another? Is this going to harm anyone, including yourself? Let's see. All right. Thank you so much for joining. And like I said, I'm going to be on TikTok at 4, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock on YouTube, Vibrational Recovery Now. This is Trish Fallon, the Lotus Lady. Peace out. Namaste. Look, now I have to try to figure out how to stop this.